My name is Wadi. My name is Wadi. I'm so glad. My name is Wadi. Want something of a life, my name is Wadi. I'm so glad. My name is Wadi. I'm so.
Used to be up in the 8. I feel like I'm Andrew Tate. I fuck girls like Tay McRae. I put PB on collapse. I like girls with little waists. I got guns up in my safe. Shawty bet she walk my way. No Aerosmith live on the edge. TPL don't want this dick. JPL he got no legs. Admire hold that MVP. Who gon' say some slurry words? That's my slime, don't flip my words. Put money up, go up that murk. You must be on that Hennessy. I'm in XO, pray for me. Best of bench, there's nothing but me. Rub some dick up on my jeans. I love the way he grinds on me. Back when I was fucking Snow, I know that dog had jealousy. Now he's acting way too straight. I know he's fucking Sagil B. I need me some booty cheeks. I need okra booty meat. Hop on fast so we can fuck. Hey, next that dick is money. Yeah, when we fuck, I call him cheap. I need some money, give me cash. I know that dick is ecstasy. I bend it over, let me eat. Jack off you and Charlie. Yeah, last time when he jacked me up. Yeah, Phantom was just kissing teeth. Bring Rennie out retirement. I put some lotion on his feet. As a matter of fact, I need some dick, so go and get me Snooshy beat. I need me some Gucci feet. I need shiesty in my ass. Winners, tell me where you at. Fuck the vision, we need 8. Fuck the 6, man, we need 5. I'm a twink, I need my bear. I'm the type to get a dick pic and send a blick because I love his ass. Give me that loop, give me that loop. I'm about to give you that loop. Yeah, we don't got pepper, but we got salt, and yeah, he's a dinner too. I've been gobbling on dick since I was 22. The fuck is Barry Halls and TPL, he's 16. I don't need hoes, I just need Horvath and KY. Yeah, Teddy sent a fly inside my dick hole. Yeah, if you need some angry music, I know a guy named Slim Shady.
Get the rocket out, takes out the garrison and a large amount of them, and really teetering on the edge is, oh my god!
That's so many dead bodies. Oh la la. He has the big shot, le petit sachet, le petit sachet.
Oh no! Hello and welcome to the Insiders Podcast. I'm one of your hosts and Insiders, Caparzo, joined by my fellow insider and good friend, Snow. Snow, it's been a hell of a couple weeks here in Summit, in competitive Hell Let Loose. First of all, those songs at the start. Snow said that second one is the epitome of 8th General Chat, which for those who have been around long enough would definitely agree with that one. I miss the 8th, Snow.
Oh yeah. It was a meme. I don't know how we did anything right. But we managed to do it.
Yeah, for as far as you guys were able to come with the cast of characters you guys were working with, some of the people mentioned in that song, just very, very funny. But how you been, Snow? What's been going on new with you?
I'm just breaking your expectations, apparently.
Oh goodness, there's plenty of episode left for us to argue and go back and forth about what our predictions are going to be for this upcoming semifinal week in Summit and Valley. But before we get to that, there's a couple things we got to touch upon, including recap of all last week's matches in Summit. So before we get to the Summit side of things, why don't you say we start out with the OSCL, which is having a playoff of their own.
Should be starting right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So Smithers and Don Gotti are going to be streaming the grand finals, which is going on at the same time as this podcast. So check out their channels, pull it up in a second tab, and don't miss any of that action. But we've arrived at the grand finals in the OSCL, and we have MSU versus OCL taking place tonight on Carentan Canal Crossing. See you laughing about the highs of beating Merck and the lows of losing to 5ID. The difference is Snow didn't predict the win beforehand. I think that would probably be the biggest difference there.
Oh yeah, and I didn't get drunk the night before talking shit.
Yeah, instead you're just gonna do a podcast tonight, not sleep at all, and then play tomorrow morning against Taco. So I don't know how you guys do it, man. Up so early for that one, but
it's great. You have the whole rest of your day to just do whatever instead of having to be home.
I hear you.
At 3:00.
I hear you on that one, where you have something that you're looking forward to, or something that you have planned at some point in the day, and it's just like, well, I'm just gonna sit here, legs crossed, and wait until that time arrives. But the time has arrived for the championship match of OSCL. So we have Carentan Canal Crossing, MSU versus OCL. So MSU going to be holding it down for the Aussies and all of Oceania tonight. And then we have OCL, which is going to be holding it down for Brazil and South America. So two kind of teams that we don't typically see on this stage, and that's what's great about OSCL. You have these teams that are 35v35, and what an interesting finals I think that this is going to end up being here tonight.
This will be the first time that a North American team hasn't gone against the European team in the finals.
I think you're right on that one. And if we look at like how we got here, so D1 and D2, it's not typical like what you think of with TPL, where these are one class of teams and this is another class of teams. These teams are all on the same playing field, so that's why you see OCL going to come out of D2 and then MSU out of D1 to play here. But each one of them respective division champions, so either one could come away with the win here tonight. Yeah,
I mean, as you've been following throughout the entire playoffs, MSU is kind of like the underdog coming into it.
Yeah.
They basically, every win that they had, they shocked, especially the R22R. Like, that's like Legion's baby brother, in my opinion.
Right.
That's like, you guys really help a lot. And then for them to come out. But then you look to the other side, which is, yes, Division 2. Oh, there it goes right there.
Right.
Undefeated Division 2 champion. And, like, same thing. They just rolled everybody. So it's going to be...
Yeah,
it's going to be a test of experience, really.
OCL is a team that I've heard a lot about before, I've seen them because they've kind of been, I think South America teams have their own league like TPL and stuff like that. And from what I know, OCL has always been a big-time competitor in that league and a favorite to win the title. So seeing them for the first time, like in these matches, and seeing them so enthusiastic, always like in the chats for the matches, it's a great community they have down there, and I'm very excited that in TPL we were able to get a Portuguese caster as well, so that hopefully those guys will be able to watch the casts in their native language and add to their enjoyment. But there is a bit of a promo, and I don't know if you saw it, Snow, the promotion for the match tonight.
I have not.
All right, well,
I'm seeing it.
Let's take a look here together.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I say that we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance.
We gonna run this town.
Some exciting stuff. Yeah, that is really sick.
Dude, I wish I was playing on one of the teams.
Yeah, I see a Wake mention in the chat that OCL has jerseys, and that is true. I saw Smithers had a pre-roll ahead of his last cast for them where he was given something, I imagine, by OCL, like a little bit of a hype video in the same sort of spirit as that one, and they all had their jerseys, like on vacation, like, repping their jerseys. I think that's really cool. And I won't hear arguments otherwise of saying like, oh, it's cringe, it's this and that. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's you can have passion for things and still be cool. Like,
you're LARPing. Yeah. I'm just kidding. Crawley has
a
fucking picture of of himself in a 6 jersey that God knows where he got.
And then you
But-
could get patches like when you win titles and stuff like that, like, you know, or just for famous battles. Like I want a Battle of West Bend patch. I'm sure a lot of other people out there would love that. Like I played in the Battle of West Bend and died to artillery 22 times, and all I got was this patch.
Yeah, I would love to watch you walk to Kroger with a that type of jersey on. But it reminds me of that meme where it's like the army guy and he has like a whole thing of medals. I feel like that would be like
Right,
Legion.
right,
Unfortunately, and just no one bared you. Every chance he had, he would be like just showing it.
We got to talk about that graphic at one point, like where it had all the team stuff. I think, you know, as it gets narrowed down here in these next couple weeks, there's not going to be as many games to talk about. So I'd love to talk about that, which was made by Zamgosh in Taco, which is, I think it's one of my favorite like graphics just to look at. And
Right.
you know, for people that have been around since the very beginning, it's nice to remember, like, you know, who won these like early titles. And you know, I think the lore of our community is some of the best part of it. What we have on console, I think, is genuinely special when, you know, compared to the other, you know, platforms that this game is played on. So, you know, shout out to Zamgosh for creating that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you tell someone that's just coming into the community now that 2 years ago that was you know just got to a comp team, but that 21st and Rob's was
Right.
in a finals, and that was like your 2 best summit teams, they would think you're crazy. And it's just how in WRTB being one of the best European
Right.
team, it was like it's crazy how things move up and down.
The game changes so much throughout the years, and you know, the teams that adapt are the teams that, you know, stay relevant. The teams that don't are the teams that get left behind, and the teams that innovate are the teams that, you know, become ahead of the competition. And that's more true now than ever with the prep, you know, era that we're in, I guess you can say. But I have a couple highlights from the last couple games. So MSU played TFMC on Kharkov with St. Mary as the midpoint, and then 11ID played OCL on SMDM Dugout, I believe. So just a couple clips from these games. This is one thing that impressed me a lot about MSU is their armor. So this is a clip that I have, just their armor just devastating.
Just been plugging away doing hard work on the defensive front door for TFMC, and a lot of the action has sort of been sort of the offensive front door for TFMC.
That tank knows where it is. We got trouble here for the TFMC tank. Doesn't choose to move, and Bluey.
And that's what was going on the whole game. The ISs by MSU were just crushing the Tigers. I have a couple more clips from this game, and what I'll try to do is like just play a couple of them in quick succession. So let's just take a look at a couple of these, and then we'll talk about them.
That little structure in front of
Yeah,
him,
the carriage
just
of
to provide
barrels.
him with a little bit of defense.
Yep. Actually talks about that a lot from long range. Sometimes those kind of things don't necessarily render in. So lovely positioning from the MSU tank. But he does just take
He's
a shell
getting
there.
hit, though.
Yeah,
I
he
reckon
just
there's an AT gun or something set up that's
took a shot.
that's causing a little bit of distress for him.
Yep. He just retreats now. You can see that would definitely be an AT gun setup, wouldn't it? That explosion there looked like one anyway. He gets himself behind the house for some repairs that will be much needed. The TFMC boys are well and truly onto that one. Uh-oh.
So that's the Tiger that's shooting at the
Second
IS-1, and the
TFMC tank that was taking
MSU
shots at that
infantry
other
able to
tank. It
help
wasn't
them
an
out.
AT gun at all. It was a rival tank. Sadie's on
What
though.
do they do back and forth, like
Swerve.
both POVs?
Do they know where it is? Do they know where it is? No. They've probably got about 20 seconds.
Oh, I reckon old mate saw it and was like, I can see it.
Yeah. Last tank player gets out. Runs around the wrong side, swerves. Chipsy's going to take him down. It's Dow versus Chips. Chips
And
is
Chips is like, oh no.
probably got 10. Yeah, no, it's already gone. Bad luck.
So saving their
Get out of
tank
here. No,
in that
around,
clip.
the west of him at the moment.
This clip is more of just the infantry of MSU.
Best rocket shot. He just turned at the right time. But he's pushing into an area that's going to get even scarier. So good work from that MSU AT player. And he gets another
Relentless
this time.
AT.
That's danger station.
Yeah,
One more,
exactly.
and we'll see a big Bob Bluey in a second. It's
That's
cutting
not
fun.
what you want to see. You've been
Not
in
at
a tank
all.
and everyone around you is dead.
Bluey, see ya later, cranky pants. The boys come in off the OP. at the worst possible timing, though I guess it would have...
Here they
are. Spawn wave comes off. They just
So
got a
before
little
I show
spawn
you
wave
this
off, not as
last
many
clip
as I
from
was
this
expecting,
game,
but they are there.
everyone,
But
and
look at
Snow,
MSU right on this line.
no.
if I were to ask you, what's going to win?
Who is that?
A
And he's gonna lift
supply
his
truck
massive
or a
balls over
Puma?
that fence.
What would you say?
Doesn't matter,
Puma.
it's gone.
All right. Well, we'll take a look at this one and
That
MSU.
orange in the background there, but he doesn't know that
Can't see
himself.
that. Oh, there's
Hello,
something
what's
there. It's
that?
a nice big truck. The truck bullies its way past the Puma. You love to see it. Playing
Oh,
dodging
hell
cars
no.
with a deadly vehicle.
He
Oh!
was the distraction, Frankie.
Absolutely. Those.
so not always
Yeah.
what you think there. What's going to happen? So that was a
They
little.
probably catch me doing that and lose.
You think
Oh,
you'd
man,
get
I
in
would be
trouble
on the
for that
bench.
one?
Dude, I would get benched so quick. Damn.
Yeah. The
And that,
go ahead.
sorry. That was MSU in the supply truck?
Yeah, MSU in the supply truck. I like that they just rammed it a little at the start, where the guy just was like, "Well, I'm probably not going to win this one," but his infantrymen really helping him out. So now on the other side of things, I have a couple clips from OCL versus 11ID, and here's how OCL was able to start the game. As the Germans, going to be easier to capture on Dugout Barn, of course, but how you act right after that is going to dictate a lot of the game. So here's how they were able to deal with the opening armor by 11ID.
Okay, mediums over here. Zam's coming around the corner. Beneko. Zam's trying to get a shirt.
So you have Zamp able to get a satchel on.
Unless it's just the gunner or the spotter. Gunner,
If you're a driver, man, you have to shoot him.
rear.
Is there a blind spot there? I'm not so familiar with armor, especially driving.
Toothpick goes around the side.
Yeah, but even as a
TC,
TC, maybe. When he was out in the front, yeah, there is a blind spot. But whenever he jumped across that
was a grenade, but William back there is
wall, I
behind
guess,
as well.
a part of that
And we
trench,
can see
you
a
have
double
to shoot
Baba
him.
Badooie here on the tanks. Rocket comes in, no from
And that's the
Leonardo.
opening Greyhound
He's
down,
able to take him out.
and then the
He's
opening
meeting Baba
medium
Badooie.
goes
Santos
down
looking at
just a
Baba
second
Badooie.
later.
Taken out right there. Already, so the Allies lose.
Really tough to deal with. There was no driver, Awake says.
I don't know why, but that would make a lot of sense. Because let me tell you, Blick let someone do that to us. Oh man, he would be getting the earful.
Yeah. I don't know if I would be able to look at that one on admin cam and not give my driver some grief. But things happen, especially at the start of the game when everything's happening at once. It seems like. But OCL going on to really dominate that game, and like the banner says here, undefeated Season 2 champions, and not really in doubt there. But I saw Crawley also mention that MSU, a lot of those guys came from TFMC.
Yeah, so especially that game, typically when you have a break off like that, they hate each other. It isn't often that they break and then everyone's like loving each other, but hopefully they're mutually good. But it meant a lot for a lot of those players, especially the ones that left to make MSU or anything like that. That's how it went down. That
Right.
it's like a rivalry game, basically.
Yeah, that those always make those fixtures a little bit more exciting. But I'm definitely going to be watching this one back after the podcast tonight and catching up with who won here. But you want to get into some Summit recap?
Yep.
Awesome.
Might as well.
So we'll start with the Valley here. And we have one SBS versus 21st, one SBS as the Allies defeating, 21st as the Allies defeating one SBS as the Germans 4-1 on Foy Night Dugout. So first thing you think about there is one SBS as the Germans losing on Dugout is surprising. And I think both of us picked one SBS based off of the midpoint being that, with them as that faction. So they got Cap first, as you would think, one SBS, but this opener was just an insane one to watch. I don't know if you caught this one, Snow.
No.
Yeah, let's just quickly look at the this opener here, and we both play this game at the highest levels, but I don't think I've seen so many like just rockets being used like right off the mid cap or right off jumping out of the truck, I should say. So let's take a look at here.
Players going up for 1 SPS. 1 SPS is waiting a long time. Let's go closer because they're gonna hit it. No, they're missing. Second one's missing as well. 21st lucky this time. Ooh, that's a good shot on the rocket. There was nobody in there. On the truck, I mean.
If you're an RD player.
You just wait here, Snow.
Flares on the night map gonna be spicy here.
That's a big satchel. Or whatever that was. Was that RD?
You can see. Look, they're on the rooftop. They have a nice view here. Perfect view.
Using that rooftop 1 SBS. Really good work.
Too bad. Gonna follow him.
But
that was huge. They almost wiped the entire pocket out.
Yeah, and what 21st was able to do is just kind of like keep 2 tanks in that little pocket by the flagpole sort of over there. And they were able to hold on to those tanks for a very long time. It was really interesting to watch that game. If we look at the stats here, let me pull these guys up. We have a pretty even game infantry-wise. The Axis winning a little bit more of that battle, but if you see the kill differences, like you usually don't see that many purple lines that closely, just showing you how small these differences were across the team. The big difference, though, being the armor by 21st, able to outkill the 1 SBS armor 305 to 93. So that is a huge, kudos to the armor of the 21st this match.
Yeah, 305 kills with armor. It's really good. And it's funny, 1 SBS beat 21st about a month ago.
Right.
In Summit.
Yeah, they played WN7, I believe. So, just goes to show that it's any given week, and the perceived advantages that maps give you end up not really mattering in the end. And I have a couple more highlights from this game. Let me just see. So the big thing was 21st, the airheads in this game, like we've seen throughout the season. It's been insane the amount of airheads that we've seen go off, and like these crazy airhead plays that you never expected to see happen. And with that, both teams were using them the whole game. But how 21st was able to break the game open and 4-1 was with another airhead that is reminiscent of Roth's against First.
That Tiger is in for a surprise if there's a lot of people spotting on that airhead. We gotta keep an eye on it because this is a chance 21st has. Yeah, airhead is live. Airhead is live. Here we go.
Look at that spawn.
21st.
That's crazy.
Kanye is already going for the
If you're
heavy.
that tank, you're like, what the hell?
One hit.
Yeah, if you didn't catch that coming in,
solid attack from 21st. He is 1 Tiger down.
like all of a sudden you got 50 infantry around you.
Perfectly executed as of right now. 21st set up their attack. Get the manpower.
Like 1 SBS has like a front line nearly made here.
Right.
Ah, dude.
And they just sneak in right behind with an airhead.
Down, as well as a good counter from 1 SBS. It's a light tank.
And look at just the amount of manpower that they're able.
Of bodies and a half track as well coming
The
out
half
to
tracks
sneak
though.
his way around.
That's insane.
Unfortunately, Chezzy over there rockets him pretty much right away. You'll see here
Still
in
20 minutes
a
on the
second,
clock, so
but
it's not all over.
it was a great attempt. I love it.
Looking good. 1 SPS needs to pull all their bodies back now, otherwise
Another
big spawn
insane
wave.
spawn wave.
Flares and already on that immediately.
That's still up. Think Padre.
Padre is finally able to get it down, but the
And it's
damage
down.
is really done.
21st has a lot of players.
But 21st able to go on and cap that. They airhead again and capture the 4th point. It's all history after that one. And 21st able to pull away the win and get into the semifinal match. So we'll preview their opponent in a little bit here as we get into our match previews. But what do you think of that, Snow? I mean, breaking the deadlock
time, might as well do it again.
on a very unfavored midpoint.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, I want to congratulate 21st, but man, that is, you're the Monday morning quarterback. You're just like,
right.
You gotta see that. It's not even. It's open air skies. You have to hear. I don't know. The
thing that if I'm one SBS and I'm waking up in the morning and I'm thinking about the last match, and if I'm watching the admin cam back, if I could stomach it at that point, is they had an opportunity where they had airheaded onto 21st fourth point, and they were over half capped, but 21st had like, I would say, a token amount of pressure at midpoint. So I think that they were playing conservative there. But if you look at this last clip here, if they would have committed, this could have been a completely different story that we're talking about here today.
Maybe get a supply player already to drop supplies, so it's easier to get a garrison up. Now they are dropping supplies for a Gary. That Tiger is in for a surprise if there's a lot of people spotting on there. Yes, is now leading the cap on Foy Road.
I played the wrong clip. This is the right one.
And they're looking good. If that airhead is still up, they should commit for it, because they're over 50%.
You can see over 50%, and McPaper mentions it too. If they commit here, it's a different game that we're talking about, but I could understand the desire to play a little bit more conservative.
They're not committing everybody
in a game like this.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, you got about the same amount of players that they do.
Right, it's like the razor's edge here of capping. But if you send a lot of your infantry here, maybe no SLs, but like maybe a couple SLs, you could get something going.
100%. Yeah, I would have committed there too. And that, looking back, we said the exact same thing about when we played 9PZ.
Right.
Back in Summit, like we had airhead down, but we didn't have that many spawning on it. We were like, damn, we should have. Even though we won, we were still like, okay, we could have done this better. So yeah, teams listening, smaller teams, commit to things like that, take some risk, and they'll definitely take pressure off your back.
Exactly, and if you force them to make an adjustment, they're the ones that really need to make it in that moment. And I mean that's what would really be killing me if I was one SBS on Monday morning, if we're using that analogy. And but still a great season, and to see these teams split the series from regular season to here just shows how competitive and how the bracket at where we're at is really putting the equal teams against each other.
Yeah, and just credit to 21st for breaking that. Like, that just comes from experience and honestly a little bit of luck.
Right, you gotta have experience and you gotta have luck.
You gotta have luck, especially on Foy.
It's better to be lucky than good sometimes, and 21st was definitely lucky, and they were good when they needed to be. But if we move on to KRC versus 3-5, this was an interesting one. 3-5 as the Axis defeating KRC, who were the Allies 5-0 on Carentan train station. And I think something interesting about this game is that there might be a little bit of confusion between the teams. KRC didn't know that it was this midpoint. They thought it was a different midpoint. So a little bit of a scramble at the last minute, I believe, on their side to kind of get everything sorted. But 3-5, you and I talked about it last week when we were reviewing the EXO match. We both knew that they were going to be a force once they got to Valley, and it didn't really matter who the next team they're going to play with. They're going to be the team to beat right now in the Valley side of the tournament, and showing it in a big way with a just lightning win on Carentan.
I feel for KRC. Luckily, I've never been in that position, but damn, I couldn't imagine. I mean, prepping and then to find out oh man, I would be mad at my Summit officials. Maybe they saw like the Carentan night midpoint and used that.
It could be, or they looked at the previous week. Like if it's a lot of things could happen, but
I hate that, man. I'm not saying the outcome would have been differently, but I feel bad for those players that are there, like taking time out of their time just to, like, fuck.
Right.
Spend this hour. I mean
at least 3-5 was able to, give them the rest of their day back pretty quickly. I mean, 3-5 really just shows why Ruins is the worst offset point to have in maybe the entire game of Hell Let Loose. It is a nightmare to have as your fourth point because it's basically free to get in Ruins. There's every way that you could imagine, as long as you get control of town center, like that church side of Carentan, you're good to go. So let's take a look at some stats. I was able to get some stats here. So we have, again, short game, so not a lot of kills going on here. 240 by 3.5 to 184 by KRC, and I think a lot of that is, 3.5 had an opener planned, and they were probably rehearsing it for a couple days, and that's probably where this difference comes from. And then it's just KRC fighting on the back foot, which is never easy to do, especially when you have Ruins.
Yeah. Actually, the kills are a lot more closer than I thought they would be. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah, that happens sometimes in these really quick matches where like one team is just running, and when you're running, sometimes you just get caught with your pants down. Yeah, exactly. Like map open. I'm interested to hear you guys in the chat. Like, what do you guys think? Like fourth point. What do you hate to see the most when it's your fourth point and maybe you're not favored to capture midpoint? Because I think that's a big consideration. We're already fixing the midpoints, but there's certain midpoints that are really fun. But if you get this as your fourth point, it's like really disadvantaged.
100%. Well, Ruins, it has to be the number one option.
I off the top of my head, that's the one that jumps out to me. Because this game was so quick, not a ton of clips from this one, but I got really one good one kind of highlighting, Eagles, Ruins is the worst fourth point in the game. I think it's like Cemetery is up there too on SME.
It's awful too.
Same sort of reason too behind that one, where you're going from an urban setting to a more of a rural setting or more open setting. And anytime that happens, there's so many places for a rat OP to be, and then before you know it, 6 guys like pop out and pressure your point.
The blue line is like 75 meters from
the
hard cap.
If that. It's like, I feel like you can go across the blue line and then into the hard cap within, maybe 10 paces. It's crazy. Yeah, Wake saying Ruins.
I forgot about Cemetery. Yeah, Cemetery is AIDS, I'm not going to lie. Especially when you're trying to attack Checkpoint as the allies.
Right, yeah, Checkpoint is the point that is probably more difficult. Hospice is a little bit easier to have that misaligned, but
you still have town control.
Right. And not that you should lose it as the allies, but Church, if you do lose the Church as the allies, I mean, those guys are like right on your doorstep. They're like instantly. But that's, I think, an interesting thing to think about, as we go through this. But there was one clip of a tank assaulting Ruins with a ton of support. And Snow, let me know what you think of this one as a tanker.
No way, that's a tank in there.
3-5 with a Tiger pushing
Holy
in
fuck.
2 engineers, at least one on the Tiger, one next to it, and one in front. So if that tank needs repairs,
very
they can do
supported.
it.
A 10 hut.
That's over 50%.
Damn, drill sergeant got them working good for that one.
Side as well, Lone Wolf.
I love to see stuff like this. I mean, like it is fun, and I can get carried away myself in the LARP.
Coming down. This looks like point lost. He's still a garrison up.
I know Maho relates to that. Maho laughing.
KRC, let's see if they use it.
Look at that spawn wave back.
But it's not enough because the Tiger's on the point.
Just shows how big the hard
point,
cap
502 seconds
pressure
start.
is.
Already is the garrison lit up on that point.
We're only 19 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
But here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I couldn't see it because the fucking stream was over before.
Ruins. Let's see if they can hold
the game
it.
was
They're
over
already
for the
capping
delay.
last point here.
And you see them already capping fifth, and they go on to
22 minutes at the moment and
carry that momentum forward and cap the point right there.
Did they cap it?
Yeah,
Did you cap it?
Yeah, exactly. Right off the bat, just like instant cap pressure. Caparzo is Lieutenant Larper. Anything for my my first in command, Maho. But that was a really well played game by 3-5. They took advantage of all the things that were in front of them, and they played it how you would expect them to. And I think that they're continuing to prove that they're going to be the team to beat in Valley right now, and I'm looking forward to seeing their match this weekend or tomorrow.
That 3-5 Roth's game, if they make it, both of them make it that far, is going to be good.
Yeah, I think that would be a awesome championship match, and I'd like to see what map we get. I'm sure the org team is going to be picking very even maps for the championship week, but we'll get into all that. We'll maybe try to get someone on Summit org team. So if you're a Summit org team member and you want to join us next week ahead of the championship round, we'd love to have you.
Echo, stop being shy. I tried to get Echo in here, and he doesn't like the camera.
Oh, it's okay. We're nice. Everyone in chat is nice, unless Snow happens to eat something on camera, and then all hell breaks loose.
Luckily, I ate before we got on here.
I'll take some screenshots for you guys next time. Don't worry. But any last notes from this one, Snow, before we move on to Ross and WRTB?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this is another kind of a similar match to the last one we talked about. Rofs as the Axis defeating WRTB as the Allies, 5-0 on Saint-Marie Dumont, the dugout. So this is another example, another dugout where the Germans are favored, but this time in France on Saint-Marie Dumont. So what is your impression of this map as particularly as a tanker? Because I think this is probably one of the more tank-friendly points. This and Pierre's is probably a lot nicer for you than AA.
Pierre's is debate. Well, depends. AA as Germans is great. It's fun because you can play on that hedge on right before you get the hockey stick.
Right.
It's really fun. Pierre's is the GOAT. One of my favorite midpoints in the game.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Winter Brother Hill and all that. Dugout's really good. You got the whole map edge side that you can just sit on hedges and rip stations and just you don't really have to move. Everything comes to you, especially if you take mid. It can be a pain though if you do lose mid, trying to get tanks to the line.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where the Allies, have a little bit of favor. It's kind of like a diagonal line through the point, and from dugout hill to the map edge kind of area is kind of Allied favored, but then you have that 3-story building and obviously the hard cap kind of more on the Axis side, and that's kind of where the Axis favor line is drawn. So openers are so important on this, if you're the Allies in particular, because if you can put yourself in a good spot to recap, it's not the end of the world, and you can totally recover from something like that.
Well, if this is on the Summit midpoints, insta-ban. If you're the Allies,
you gotta
that little orchard section right to the right of the midpoint, especially as well, is STG Central. They'll eat everything up.
Right, and
around there.
5 points is still a very important consideration on this, because that kind of is the key to the dugout hill. And because 5 points important, again, that orchard that you're talking about becomes important because that's the blue line push, and that's where you're going to kind of get reflanked from if you're the Americans. So it's kind of a lot of things that you need to juggle as the Axis to maintain your advantage, or else all of a sudden you'll find yourself, I don't have the map edge, I don't have the hill, and now I'm cordoned into the point or into that 3-story building type courtyard area, and it's over for you.
8th played 11th back in the Silver Championship on that map.
I remember that.
It was foggy
at night.
As hell.
Dude, that was the most insane fog game I've ever seen. That was before the
so
patch
many tanks.
Recent. Oh my god, you can't see a foot in front of you on that version.
Yeah, and 11th they were running at least 6 tank crews, solo recons, and it was the most annoying game ever. Right,
I remember that one. That was looking back on it, what a difference with the fog from then to now. I totally forgot about that. But this one, WRTB not able to kind of get anything going post the mid cap, and Rofs played it a really good game. If we look at the stats here, Rofs outkilling 875 to 635, so pretty decidedly outkilling the Allies here. Similar with armor and artillery. artillery to a lesser extent, but armor really kind of dominating the match.
Okay.
We see the kill diffs throughout the main, top and meat section of the roster. Rofs with a pretty nice lead there. So, I think that if you're Rofs, this is what you needed to do in this game. You were favored to win, and, not just as a team, but as the point and the faction. So taking care of business is a good thing for Rofs, and, I think important for them after some of the last matches that they had, on PHL and that heartbreaker with 9PZ.
I mean, when I hate to give participation trophies, but credit WRTB for staying the season. I mean, especially at the first early rounds, they were barely fielding like 40 players, and they were like scraping to get people to. I think one match they actually had to forfeit for them to come all the way into the Valley playoffs.
Right.
And at least play the damn game and not forfeit halfway through and be a bye to somebody. Really good. I hate to see when teams like have to quit mid-season.
I 100% agree, and I don't necessarily think that that's a participation trophy, because like we've seen it so often where like as soon as the going gets tough, they get going, and WRTB with the the reputation and the history that they've had as a clan. I love the leagues are better with WRTB playing, and teams like WRTB and KRC that have been here since the start, like it is better with them in the mix, I think, and I hope things start to improve for WRTB, and they get back to kind of where they've been, and that they can totally get to be because of the leadership that has been a mainstay the whole time. So I do want to look at a couple highlights. So we talked about the map edge for the allies being very important. If you lose that map edge, especially with Breakcourt being WRTB's second point, you got to hold on to that. And Rofs did an amazing job with a Puma here in this one. So let's take a look here. Just want to point out Stugotz is an incredible name. Shout out Stugotz.
When you see that Puma though causing some shenanigans in the back. Puma
So look
comes
at this.
all the way back, all around from all the map to.
The Puma takes out the Garrison there.
Get a Garrison. This is really.
And I like the discipline by WRTB here. Look at Overlord on the top right of your screen here.
OP's right there. They get it. Another OP.
Gets the Garrison back right away as this Puma is
They're going to go for the MG. They run him over.
Causing a lot of issues, running over the MG.
Love to see it.
But you'll see this.
Two rockets.
Dude, how did that?
Ooh, those were
Miss 'em.
close. Those
Threading
were close.
the needle
Garrison
here.
is still alive, so the Allies.
But this
should be
Puma
fine
isn't
over
done, as we'll see here.
Rocket sails on forward to the Puma. Yeah, the Puma did not head over to beyond the hedge. This Garrison will be. The SLs will just respawn back on this puppy, and they'll be all good to go. Still be able to hold back the Allies here.
But it was able to
Puma's
take
still
out most of the
cruising around, though,
outposts, so
looking
that's
to
big.
cause some more shenanigans. Remember, this is just a two-man Puma. Just a two-man Puma. No spotter on this puppy, so they're just cruising around. Wasting away until the Allies have a good AT shot on them. Puma's going on through. It's going to see the Garrison here in a second. It does. It stops. Backs up.
Gets it back.
There we go. Big value from the Puma here. Big
And
value
he
from the
almost
Puma.
gets the outpost, but
Hans
Hans.
to the Puma shenanigans.
Finally.
Hans Gruber,
Hits a
another
rocket.
amazing name. But yeah, what a menace that Puma was, just taking out both of the blue line garrisons there and allowing Ross to end up taking that ground.
Yeah, I mean that is definitely huge.
Do you ever play in the Puma, Snow? Or recon tank?
Yeah, rocket snipes and really that's it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Typically we have heavy. It's kind of the meta. Hopefully, if I'm having to use a Puma, shit's hit the fan.
But I mean, you were using the Lux against Exo to pretty good effect
Yes.
in that game.
Yeah. The lights I like. Recons I were terrible with.
What do you prefer, the
Right.
Lux or the Stewart?
Stewart, 100%.
Stewart. Is it just because you
100
can?
rounds.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't play tank nearly at all ever, but
Yeah.
I remember hopping into a gunner for someone who's in a Stewart one time and being like, I have 100 rounds, and like, how does that even fit around me in this little tank with 3 guys in here? Like, I don't believe that.
This little something in the corner just shoveling rounds there. I don't know why it has so much ammo, but I love that it does. And they're HE too. Deluxe, you have to be really like direct with them. But Luxes are the most annoying, in my opinion. I'd rather fight, if I'm infantry, fight a Stort than a Lux.
Right. I mean, especially because then you're the Germans and you can pretty much hit them wherever and be doing damage.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That's true.
you know, if they get to moving pretty quick as the Panzerschrecks rounds start coming in. Those rockets pack a punch. But WRTB hanged in here for a very long time, and a large part of it is due to their infantry really stepping up when they needed to. So WRTB was getting pushed by a Tiger, and they move into action pretty quick with an AT gun.
One Tiger goes ba-ba-ba-dooey, it looks like. Yes, it does. One Tiger gets taken out. Other Tiger just took a shot. Looks like it's from an AT gun that was built right there behind
and that
the
smoke
little
is
gap
doing
in
a
the
really
wall.
good job obscuring that AT gun.
Tiger can't see it. They'll back up and repair. Pagey jumping out here to help his buddy.
And I'll spoil it that they don't end up getting the tank here, but what they're able to do is just keep it at an arm's length, and
Bledo S and Kami George.
you see like Ganja Man over here now able to get a rocket, in to stop the repairs a little bit.
The track of the Tiger, I think.
So like,
I mean, it's just precious time that they're not getting hit with AG.
Right, exactly. And, those are the things that WRTB did well throughout the game, is reacting to a lot of what Rofs was doing. So I think this is a good one, and Rofs moving on to the semifinals as well. So that'll be a good one here tomorrow as well. You want to talk Remagen Bridge?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for this one.
This is one that I saved this one as the best for last for the Valley side of the bracket here, but this was an incredible match to watch. Did you watch this one, Snow? Or you catch the replay at least?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, what a nightmare this looked to play, and this probably has my favorite stat page that I've ever seen. So. Take a look at this.
Let's see the stats now.
The infantry kills are non-existent for it being a 90-minute match. I've never seen so
armor.
Yeah, right. The armor. So machine gun kills, artillery kills, and armor kills aren't counted as that infantry bucket there. So. That's why you're kind of see the infantry kills being so low.
It was on MGs. Everyone was. I wonder how AT guns their kills were.
Yeah, and I'm just loading up the highlights here. Apologies.
As you could tell, like the already. Crazy, especially on that bridge. I would hate to play it.
And it was a nightmare the whole way around. So let me get this queued up. It's gonna just show a little bit wrong first, but I'll correct it as quickly as I can.
Teams, it really does. Whoever gets the cap opens up a lot of freedom in terms of what sides of the map they can play on. And this truck has it jitters along. It often does in these servers. It's like the rocket snipes coming in, barely missing. This truck does
How
damage
did that
it
not?
though.
I don't know either.
Looks like everyone is alive though. Their quest here. Looks like they will get this trench safe and sound as one truck does die here.
Just an insane volume of explosions going off at the start.
Yeah, Shrek left.
How foggy it
bridge.
is.
So, looks like multiple rockets coming out here.
I like this truck just being like, well,
so we do see the
I'm getting away with it.
Starting to come across as the first flare comes out and the arty shells start to load.
Maybe I would have had some infantry in that truck, just to take that.
I mean,
keep them on that side of the bridge.
No,
but they would have never done that.
No one knew that they were making it. Everyone there was saying to themselves, "Well, I'm just gonna die here right now."
I'm gonna get to my side. They're gonna get their side.
Right.
We're gonna let everything in between us just blow up.
I see Eagles give Remagen buildable pontoons for 100 supplies. Anything to make it not what it is. I mean, it's still incredible because of that. That's the only option is just to run across. Salami saying sometimes the lags from the arty and the machine gun fire was nuts. Yeah, it's just too many assets going on at once.
Yeah, I could just imagine that, and it slow down because the frames are dropped so much.
The smoke, and it's just insane. So first able to capture first, I'm sorry, I think ANZR captured first. I can't quite remember.
I think ANZR did, capture first.
So ANZR ends up having an insane push onto the point, and again, this clip is going to be a little messed up at the start, but I'll just fix it really quick.
It's absolutely lighting up the sky. That is quite unfortunate. So we have a pretty good push here coming in from ANZR. But first here, plenty of bodies to respond. We do see Tiger off the river.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice circular angle there.
So here's first, in control of the point right now, and you can just see this wave. The wave of infantry coming by, and I didn't think that this point would flip that many times, honestly.
Yeah, mid flip 4 times.
That's crazy.
Well, you heard it. Let's see a Legion versus somebody on as a scrim.
Legion 6 finals, or Merc versus Taco finals, or what do you think it's going to be? Well, we'll get into it. Let's hold our horses here. Let's keep talking about Remagen Bridge, because
at least do a scrim.
I'd love to do a scrim on Remagen Bridge if you wanted to. Snow, you want to organize that, Legion versus 6?
Hell yeah! I mean, if you guys are gonna play skirmish 3 times against Merc,
well, we mix it up. We like to try different things. It's hilarious. The bridge. Appreciate the love, Malarkey. By the way, thank you, buddy. But
gonna go steal a 747 now.
You're gonna get him on a no-fly list now. You gotta be careful, man. One thing I loved about Remagen Bridge too is that with the difference with the new flamethrower is that the flamethrower is might be the most meta weapon for Remagen Bridge. Let me show you a clip here, and I'll try to fix it really quick as well. Let me just pause it while I get this resized. It didn't.
So many people right there.
Let's see.
Just flaming them down.
Look how good that is. That's unironically awesome.
With the wild. That is really good, actually, because if they pick their heads up, they're just instantly dead.
There's nothing that you can do about that. If you see that kind of arcing down on you too, what are you gonna do? And your OP is probably right behind you too, because you're not allowed to move 3 feet off your OP on Remagen Bridge without getting something happening to you.
We need to get that guy. Who was it last week? That was running the flamethrower.
Yes, on 11 ID. Yeah, that guy was a legend with the flamethrower. That was insane. Yeah,
Anzor wins the game. He has that.
Yeah. I mean, this guy was just insane. The other part of this graphic that I really enjoy, and this is not a part of a graphic that I typically include, this chart where it shows you the KD lines. I've never seen this graph where 80% of the players are below 1 KD. Everyone was just dying. It was the top 1% had 99% of the kills, and everyone else was just getting farmed the entire game. You see the artillery guys at the top. It's just a joke. And when I clicked on, General Lee, when I clicked on any of those dots that weren't below 1 KD, they were machine gunners or armor. That was it.
Yes, to just laying down and just shooting ammo. I wish it showed like rounds fired per game, something like that. I bet it would be crazy.
My god, dude, that stat would be insane on this one. Yeah, Rooster, I know Rooster definitely enjoyed this one as his last game in ANZR, but just a dominant artillery performance by both these guys, going like pretty much round for round with the artillery. Only 2 kills separating them, which is wild. When you consider the game being so close.
I'm afraid to see what Zito would do if he had to play Artie on this map. No matter the side.
I don't want to play 1,700 munitions I went through. Yeah, and it was well worth it. Well worth it. If it was 2,700, it would be worth it. The one thing I liked that First did, and let me cue this up really quick. While I fix this, is when they did get across, First I'm talking about here, they were able to make the most of it and use their satchel. So we'll see that here.
Just satchel the actual...
So you see Dunn getting across, and she's just going to proxy satchel the bridge, and this was a huge play for the First.
Oh, man.
We'll just go under the bridge.
So she gets the satchel down there.
Very cheeky. I'm not quite sure what the blast radius was.
And then we have, you see, Melts over here.
We do see AT getting in the back here as well. Looks like he will die. He does have a satchel.
We're going to satchel the 76.
Action too.
You have 2 of them right there.
Satchel should set off this satchel as well. So they might straight up just not have time to dismantle it. And it'd be a huge play here for First. Just getting him behind them.
I would be doughy if I was playing this game. Just I don't want to be any part of what's going on down there.
From these satchels, not quite sure how long Dunn set his satchel here for, but
dude, man, oh my god,
huge.
Tank down.
A huge play there by First, and I see Eagle saying First building rep stations under the bridge and using their recon tank for pictures is high IQ, and yeah, that is something I heard. So First parking their recon tank on the top of that hill that they are given, and using the recon tank commander spot to take pictures. And for you guys out there that aren't familiar, this is something that I didn't learn until like 150 level, I feel like. And it's that the commander has an ability in the recon tank to take pictures, which act essentially the same as a flare. So they were able to take pictures of the end of the bridge, be able to see where the tanks are, and then the 76s were able to, or I'm sorry, the Tigers for them were able to then just shoot where the pings were on the map. And that's how they were able to get their tank kills, because you can't see anything on Remagen Night.
Didn't even think about the rep stations under the bridge that they would reach.
Yeah, I didn't think so either when I was looking at it earlier when I was doing the clips. But when I was looking at one segment of the game, you can see the little bit of white smoke coming out of the rep station, like it's working, while the tank was on top, and that was huge because if you have that on top, they're getting artillery like 100 times, and you're gonna have a rep station graveyard locking the bridge out for your team.
I'm about to say, I can't wait to see Legion have 150 rep stations under the bridge.
Yeah, and they're the hardest working rep stations in Hell Let Loose history, maybe. Salami giving shout out to everyone in the First that is preparing, and that's something that I'll echo, and I'm sure you agree, the people that take their time to prepare this and to help with the preparation, those are the guys you want on your team, and that's the kind of culture that you want to start building, especially if you're a newer team. So kudos to the First. I do have one last clip from this game, and I'll just do the same thing here. But this is the last couple moments of the game where ANZR has to make a push, and if they're going to win it, we're just under 2 minutes left in this one. So let's take a look.
A massive spawn at that. the sheer rush coming in now. Absolutely everything.
That's a
is gonna
scary
be on the first,
sight to
and
see if you're
Yes.
first.
this is
That
Anzadov's
cap
chance
flips
here.
with 20 to go.
You're like, oh my god, we just got to hold on a little bit
I
longer.
think Strafing Run does get a few of them. And will be first, I believe. Just holding on to this for the minutes. And
But just enough people were able to get into
Tick
that
that
hard
over.
cap
that will be...
to tick it
I,
over.
haven't even looked at the map. Is it favored? Like, is the hardpoint circle favored to one side, or is it straight center?
I mean, like, my conventional wisdom is that the allies don't have to yeet themselves over a cliff, so it's going to be easier for them to get onto it. But at the same time, what we're at with the game, it's then easy for that Puma to get on top of that hill there and start sniping down on you early. So I think it's like a 50-50 type of deal. Like, I'd probably lean allies. Airheads played a much less part in this game than I thought, though, than I think either of us thought when we were talking about this last week.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't think this game was good. I picked Anzar, but definitely German favorite. Yeah, I could see it. But I think on one hand, for allies, I'm forgetting who the hell was who. Anzar is U.S.
Yeah,
They kind of like wasted that basically advantage by getting out of the truck at the pillars instead of taking the ground.
Right.
Kind of,
that's a big
kind of
risk,
nullified.
though. You know, like if you have even one squad leader going across that bridge and YOLOing the truck like we saw the truck driver do, and you know.
Oh, I wouldn't have squaddies out, but the squaddies.
Yeah. I think some squaddies definitely would be good to have, just to get that initial weight on your side and try to like stall it out a little bit. But definitely one of the more interesting matches I've ever watched, and I hope this kind of breaks the I guess concern some teams have with playing it. I mean, it still sucks. Like, yeah, that's a definite thing. Like,
up until this season, Stalingrad was unplayable, and then now you play it.
We're making it happen. One last thing I wanted to talk about with this game is just how the bridge is, how it's not exactly on a grid line, and it's just like off a little bit. So any bombing run just is like not very good. You're gonna just have it all land in the water or destroy itself on the top of the bridge, and it's kind of a waste. So Commander, needing to be a little bit more resourceful with his resources.
Yeah, I swear, I assume they did that on purpose to prevent someone
from
just
bombing running right across the bridge.
Yeah, which would be amazing if that was a thing.
What's up, Little J? But yeah, we see Salami saying that allies can cap faster than Axis does, but Axis has it easier in terms of the high ground. So kind of, depending on your school of thought. But why don't we move on to the Summit side here with our first Summit matchup, which was between Taco and 22nd, where Taco as the Germans defeating 22nd as the British 5-0 on Tobruk Desert Rat Cave. So I think this is the first time we've seen Tobruk this season, Snow. So another kind of an interesting off-meta pick. This is not the first time we've seen the British in the tournament so far. We have a Duriel match this week coming up, and we've had an El Alamein match already this season. So good to see them still be part of the mix here. I think that the German weaponry, especially against the Africa Corps Germans, is probably to their advantage. That Tommy gun is just insane.
I mean, and then there's a huge game for Taco. They were near the line of being negative on sand, so for them to really flip it to a positive for sand. It was monumental. So
big loss for sand. Hot seat sand, cool throne Taco.
Yeah, when we saw Tobruk, it was almost an instant ban. We had to get it out of there.
We played Legion played 22nd a week ago ahead of this match to help them prepare for it, and it is just it's very hard for the British to get to that point, first of all, because they have to contend with that, like, there's that boxes and all that stuff at the top of the map there that kind of make it hard for them to get into the point. And if you don't have a good opener, you're going to be in a bad spot. But 22nd dodged a bullet, or like got a blessing here, in that Taco messed up their opener. So 21st came out of the gate here with more cap pressure, getting to about 70%, I'd say, before Taco was able to start pushing it the other way when their infantry finally got there. So what did you think of that?
Maybe completely wrong, but it seems like, just from looking at basically on the possibility that we may play it, we may pick it to play a summit game. It seemed like Taco had the better route, but it's really direct. It isn't like much error for it. You can't really go anywhere else but the direct route. So the possibility of snipes for that is insane. Like you said, the truck getting stuck. I thought it was sniped at the very beginning when I first watched it. I was like, oh my god, they sniped the truck. Well, figures, because I was thinking in the back of my head.
Well, that's what 22nd needed to try to do if they, coming in as the one of the lower seeds on the summit side of things. They needed to have something break in their direction, and they definitely got that break. But Taco just too good and too strong of a team, and were able to kind of wrestle it back all the way from 70% in a really sort of convincing way. So outkilling 22nd 658 to 373. So across the board, Taco playing a really, really solid game here.
Yeah, and we'll say commiserations for 22nd. I believe this was their first time playing in Summit itself, the playoffs.
Yeah,
which is crazy because Echo's here, like, he makes the thing, and his team has gotten to the playoffs. So,
and it all kind of goes back to that early week 1 Merc game. Like without that upset victory that kind of set the tone for the whole season afterwards, they wouldn't be in this opportunity. And I think it says a lot to 22nd growing as a team, and all these teams growing, that they're able to last as long as 22nd was able to do against Taco, which is obviously, a juggernaut in our community.
Absolutely.
Have a couple highlights. I have 2 that I'll play in quick succession from, I think it was Jack of all trades, his name was, for 22nd, who started the game hot with AT.
But it's down there a little bit. The elevation is not to his favor right now. He's going to push on it, pull out the Piat. He's going to go for it.
Jacob trades.
Oh, they sinks it. Oh,
bam.
Man, look at that. Jacob trades.
That Piat's insane.
So
good.
Be
a loss of a little chunk of cap plate there for the Axis inside.
And then we have
Rockets, or Piat
Jake with another over here.
Turtles pushing on up here. Alex Jones, Dirbo. Jacob trades. Jacob trades. Gets himself another Axis tank takedown for the match.
That's huge. I mean, off the opener.
Taco's playing their tanks weird. Typically, someone that plays Taco and has played them. Typically those tanks are back. They're back hiding on reps.
I think the bigger thing is that as the Germans, when you're in that German tank, you're not used to them being able to kind of hit you from anywhere and take you out, because you're used to playing against the bazooka. So that Piat is just so good, and a huge part of the British kit on this map. I have one more Piat clip because I can't help myself. This was just a hilarious encounter, and we all could relate to having been in a situation like this.
But you are better than me, buddy. Thorak coming around the corner, going up against Fuzzy, dodging each other's rifle rounds. Thorak trying to get home, and he takes the Piat, and he just blasts him right out of there. There we go. Don't settle for the bogus rifle shot. Just go straight for the Piat, buddy. Love to see it.
Just both guys whiffing the point-blank bolt actions, and then the guy just being like, you know what? I'm going to win this gunfight, guaranteed. Pop.
Reminds me of back in the Legion Taco LL main game. Hugh was like, it panned to Hugh, and Hugh had missed like 3 shots, and he says, "Fuck it." He grabs the PO and just blows them up. We're sitting there in the VC laughing. We're like, yeah, I don't blame you, dude.
I think Briz that game had like over 20 Piat kills, which is just hilarious. Like, just using it as a primary weapon, which it's certainly capable of being. But I have one more clip from this game, and it was a really interesting one at the end of the game where Jeep doing some Jeep stuff.
Cruising on up here. We hear a truck.
In the sandstorm.
May be able to report the location back. Jeep's moving around. Oh, did I see that tiger? I don't know. Jeep's going
It's like an
further.
SAS raid here.
Jeep's going further. Oh, no, it may go right for the tiger. No. Stewart, okay, tiger. Oh, my gosh. Can we see the tiger flip around? The Jeep. Oh, no, they don't hear him. Oh, the tiger. Okay, the tiger dealt with that. The light tank. Boats and Nodes jumps out. Tiger takes around from the Stewie, or from the Daimler. General Gaunt is coming around. The tiger gets... Oh, no. Tiger's still alive.
Dude, Smithers let them pop.
That would have been a hilarious play if the Jeep distracts the tiger, and then the light and the recon get behind him at the tiger and just take him out. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, SAS is crazy. Jumps a mountain.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the play by 22nd. You never get to see Jeeps in these matches, and I mean, it was fun to watch. I think it added to it for sure. But Taco, just too strong and too good this season, and are able to come away with this one 5-0. So, what did you think about this one? Did you watch this one as you were preparing for Taco this week coming up for you?
Yeah, there won't. There's some takeaways. Their armor played more aggressive than we honestly would think they would. So hopefully they play aggressive tonight. Wink, wink, Taco. Come on. But we'll see. We definitely did watch it just because we have never seen a Tobruk game,
right?
And yeah, so yeah. I hope we keep playing these crazy maps. I can't remember the last time at least 6 has played like a map that isn't wild. So
yeah, I
on the run.
I like it too. I like the mixed maps that you guys are playing. You guys are playing Hurtgen coming up, and we'll preview that here in a second. But let's get into talking about the another match this week, which was Legion versus 9PZ. Legion as the Axis defeating 9PZ as the Soviets 5-0 on Cursed Knight Yamki. So this was a fun match to watch. I didn't get to play in it, but I had this one pulled up on the TV, and I was rooting the boys on. What did you think as an outsider? And then I'll kind of go as what I thought.
Well, thank God EXO didn't do that to us. Because it was literally the same map, same points, just flipped. But nah, there was a lot of talk going into that game. The Bro Brigade and everyone was out.
Yeah.
So we were thinking, I was thinking it was gonna be insane, but it was just really methodical. And I think they got a terrible. But you guys played Curtis. Yeah. What was their fourth point?
It was the one by Windmills on the west side.
Yes.
Yeah. Can't remember the name.
I hate that midpoint. I think they got super unlucky with that midpoint.
You're in you're in like a fishbowl over there. Yeah, it's really, really tough. And Legion did a really good job taking advantage of it. I see Gray in the chat who casted this one along with Awake. And there was certainly a bit of memeing that Legion was doing, particularly at the start. Let's just quickly take a look at that clip so we can talk about that.
Those only.
Hearing some shells going off. Maybe we see some truck snipes. First rockets are flying to the sky. Will we see some snipes from LGN? Snipes from 9PZ. We see the
power truck
coming into the sky. They're announcing their presence like it's the set of a Mad Max film.
Gray hat on the call with a Mad Max opener by Legion. Yeah, if you aim the flamethrower backwards like that, you get an extra 1 kilometer an hour. Yeah, and 2 you get 2. So that's how we got there so fast.
That makes so much sense.
Right? It all starts to make sense when you think about it. We'll pull up the stats here as well so we can have that as a visual reference.
Yikes.
Yeah, the afterburners were full force on that one. But infantry-wise, pretty even, honestly. 510 to 586. I think it's kind of similar to what we were talking about with the 3.5 KRC, where when you're running map open just through a field, you're gonna bound to get caught slipping a few times there, especially when it got really messy towards the end on like when it gets super foggy down by the Soviet HQ. So I thought it was a good game that 9PZ played, considering the mountain that was in front of them in terms of the second point that they had.
Yeah, that second point is when we were doing our prep, same night, we were like, damn, I hope we don't get this point. Because it really changes how you have to play it. If that's your fourth point, then you have to allocate so much to the windmills to hold that.
You definitely do.
That's people that you're losing from your front line, and especially that far east side. Versus, obviously, if you have like defense and depth where it's just straight. Little G, push. Anyway.
The thing, too, is that right off the bat, Legion was able to kind of secure that trench that is to the north of Yamki, which was really not good for 9PZ, because leading up to that trench, you have a downhill. You're running uphill at those guys that have cover, and you really don't have any choice. So speaking of that hill, there's this little clip that Awake had from his stream that it reminded me of that meme where it's like the girl that's like cowering underneath the table, and then the Terminator is coming into the room, and the Terminator here being Libby and Dawn.
Probably gonna do a lot of views from up top here.
I go lie, this looks good for
trying to build some barricades, it seems, but
yeah, Wake did some
being pressured by Legion pretty heavily.
Post on it, I think.
Libby gets to himself.
These are not two guys you want on your front door here.
No.
Patton does spawn, but gets knocked down by Libby. Barry.
Libby don't keep on.
Squad for 9PZ.
I love the barricades being like in the process of being constructed too, and like Dawn and Libby just kicking down the front door and being like, no.
Hey, wait, please get Perseus out of the chat.
What's Perseus doing? Oh my goodness, you guys are too much.
Ban him.
There's another clip that Awake had from this one, and our good pal Divinity gets caught in 8K here.
Not sure if this garrison back here for Legion is still up and running. It looks like it is. Divinity. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm screenshotting that. Everybody on stream can screenshot that. Divinity hiding in the bush. Oh my god, he's camping in OP. Oh man. I love this game.
Divinity, we love you, buddy, but I mean, it's going to be hard for you to beat those allegations on that one with the most HD evidence being supplied here.
Yeah,
and that was actually a garrison that he was camping, so I mean, even worse maybe. With the FG-42.
Pookie saying Snow looking like the AT&T guy at Walmart trying to sell me a new plan. Okay.
Maybe that
Divinity
Halloween
Divinity's
episode.
The worst.
We'll have you. We'll both come dressed in as something that the audience votes on or something. I'm gonna regret that.
I'm gonna be a meatball, bro. Like just from Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Hey, you might be able to pull that off.
Okay. I might be able to pull that off. What are you talking? Okay.
It's hot dog water flavored vape. That's good. All right, so a couple more clips from this one. This is just a really good play by Legion communicating, and I don't know that this explicitly. I didn't hear the comms, but you can see Teku going for the garrison here and probably calling it out to the team when he wasn't able to get it immediately, and the luck's on the case.
This Teku's on the garrison, but he does not get it out. Does not destroy it. Lux is trying to locate the garrison and will actually destroy it.
The Luxes can be so good, I should say. Like sometimes it feels like you're shooting Nerf bullets, but other times it's you can feel like you're really making a difference.
Yeah, that Stalingrad game, it felt like there were Nerf bullets half the time. If you're like just a little late on shooting, Don't kill him.
All right, one last clip here from this game. We have Maho, the chief LARPer, doing his best LARPing.
Onkler in the front lines, hiding in a bush. Puts down the proxy satchel. Goes for the stab on Shocker. Almost goes for the second stab on Cherry Bomb.
Goes for the stab in a comp game is
Does he
crazy.
spot the satchel? He does not spot the satchel. I'm going to linger here for a bit. Maybe we'll see some good money, some big money satchel play happening here.
Pretty smart idea to put the satchel down and get a
Cherry Bomb and Jax gets turned.
extra couple posthumous kills for Maho there. So that was a great match. Legion obviously taking care of business, doing what they needed to do, similar to what we talked about, like 3-5 and Rofs in the Valley, as well as this next match that we'll talk about, which is Merc and Pathfinders. So Merc as the Allies defeating Pathfinders as the Germans 3-2 on Saint Marie Dumont, Pierre's farm. So Snow, Pierre's farm. You mentioned it earlier. Your favorite. Let's put yourself in Merc's shoes on this one. You're the Allies. What's going through your mind off the opener here?
As the Allies try to hide on that, I guess it'd be north side of the point, try to hold Pizza Slice for armor. That's
Right.
where I would keep all my heavy tanks, especially except for down on that road. Try to get a truck off that road. There's so many different truck snipes you can do.
They're talking about to the crowns in the chat. Yeah, Gray, I did see that clip of Dallas missing the airhead. It was just such a long clip, I couldn't fit it in because no one can see the airhead at all. But what I would be thinking if from Merc's side of things, from the infantry perspective, is the snipe that everyone knows now. And you got the Germans, they're gotta come out of Saint Marie Dumont. They're on that narrow road, and Merc takes full advantage here.
Не едут, смотри. Или нет? Или едут?
Нет, не едут. Они должны были вот через вот эту. Вот едут.
Doing some weaving. That gets the whole back of the truck.
Хорош.
And then it gets the supply truck.
Что происходит? Просто суплайку старт.
That's your biggest worry.
100%.
Отлично.
And I think that was the whole map, the truck that was going to be going for Pizza Slice for the Germans, because we saw after that there being no presence there at all by the Pathfinders, and just that really let Merc be able to be in a situation where they lost the initial cap, but they were able to recap very quickly. And I don't speak Russian, but that's a crazy one. I don't speak Russian, but the Casanova on the cast sounds like he was very impressed by that. Those couple snipes.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. Oh no, little G. Let's not do this. Let's not do this here, guys. Why don't we look at the stats from this one? So we have here the Merc side of things outkilling Pathfinders 1,500 to 1,000. So pretty big win by Merc on the infantry side of thing. Only artillery kind of carrying Pathfinders forward here. So I think that was really big for Merc, where you kind of saw them dictate a lot of the game throughout this game.
100%.
And go ahead.
Kills and everything else. Yeah, I was just gonna say, the armor especially in that dominant performance.
With the infantry as well, they were able to set up the front line routinely and push Philo into the Saint Marie Dumont hard cap, and it was really hard for Pathfinders to get out. They were only able to get out eventually with a red zone garrison play and kind of break the deadlock that way. But up until then, they were having a really, really hard time getting out of that area.
100%.
So this was one clip that we had here, and this is kind of when Pathfinders breaks the deadlock here and is able to clear these tanks off of their front door.
Сейчас зажимают здесь по центру тоже, короче, продвигаются. Так, Корио только поставил аванпост, сразу же теряет его.
A-Great able to get one OP.
Так, ну второй танк поехал сливаться. Ну да, как только он становится уязвимым.
And the satchel.
Кладбище, да. Дальше первого не смог проехать пока что.
Oh my god.
They had an armor convoy here, so gets saved from his guy behind him, but Mosk.
Just grenades flying by him.
Да, нашел чиф Москву, короче, но мне кажется, что времени уже слишком мало на то, чтобы разминировать. Не хватит ему, скорее всего.
Bodies in blood.
Yeah, just barely not in time there. I'm sure Mosk had that like within the last couple seconds of defusing that. So A-Great with a great play. Sorry, that was probably not great. Last one for this game. This is a longer clip, and this is just kind of showing how Merc was able to really play well on the armor side of the game.
Потому что оттуда танк явно никакой пользы не приносит. Опа, смотри. Бам.
Бам. Но уже ему летит от другого тяжа.
Блин, ему нельзя было останавливаться.
О, это вот тот, короче. Очень дальний, короче, тяж в него стреляет.
Taking shots from it, looks like that tank in the back and a AT gun. You see J.M. over there in the distance. He's about to man an AT gun. And he's smelling blood in the water with that tank on fire like that.
See it cuts right through the smoke.
When you're solo manning an AT gun like that and you get a glancing blow with your first hit, you're like sweating.
Yeah, it's like that meme.
Yeah.
It's that guy's just
Caparzo, если он сейчас еще разменяет, это будет топ.
О, MG-фалом, короче. Ой, ну все это.
And that's a huge play of Merc working together there, and I think that that's the biggest threat of Merc is that their armor and their infantry, when they're playing together, they are a really, really tough team to beat, and it's something that, you know, Legion certainly looking forward to, or, you know, preparing for in the match tomorrow. But Pathfinders, an incredible season, making the summit as well. So I think Pathfinders and 9PZ having really good seasons to get to this point, and Pathfinders played it until the very end. Took them 90 minutes to come away with the win here for Merc.
Absolutely.
Any last comments on this one before we get to what I think is the match of the week of Six versus EXO?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Alrighty. So why don't you take the lead on this one and kind of walk us through, like, leading up to this match. Obviously, I made the pick that I made, and, you know, you guys got that bulletin board material out of it. But what was the mentality going into this one?
Oh, wow. We were pretty confident. We had just played them like 2 weeks prior, 2 or 3 weeks prior. But obviously, we kind of got our ass whooped in the mat bans. So, I mean, not really. You don't want to be the cursed allies with Yankee is, man.
Right.
So, definitely behind the 8 ball there, so it just kind of forced us to prep. Basically, counter prep what they were going to do. It's pretty simple. Everyone's seen how they're going to run it and what they're going to do. But basically, we didn't play for a cap saying it. So yeah. Yeah, we didn't play for a cap. We played for a recap, and I think we even got a truck snipe, but that ended up not even being amounting to anything. I think it was just a driver and a one squad lead.
Right.
So came out there because we had map control, but super tough game. Luckily, it was.
This is one of the more even games I've ever watched, just from the perspective of the whole game was like anyone could cap at any moment. Like you guys had another situation like was on Stalingrad where it was like 90 minutes of cap pressure, and if you're EXO, it's heartbreaking to be in the last 15 minutes and have like the game like slip between your fingers like that. But the for sixth, keeping up that pressure and just like keeping the nose down and grinding, that's what won the day at the end for you guys. And it was extremely impressive to kind of have the mental toughness to go the distance there.
Yeah, at some points, well, we knew we couldn't lose that trench, so no matter what. So thank God Crawley and all the frontline, Riggy, and everyone that was playing frontline were doing this, basically slaying. Before I knew it, every time Crawley managed to get an OP into those buildings, we were getting blasted on the windmills and armor.
Yeah,
that was so annoying.
And so much of the cast was like focused on Yamke because like it was such like like basically fist fighting on the point because of the fog and it being nighttime, and the every engagement was like less than 20 meters probably, but it kind of got lost what was going on the windmills, which was probably just like a brutal fight there, because there you actually can see each other, and that's where the tanks are going to be, and that's where if you lose that, and you had windmills, or I'm sorry, what was your second point?
Defense and depth.
Defense and depth, right. So that would be a nightmare for you guys to lose that, end up in the fishbowl yourself, and then you're like 2 OPs on the front line away from being wiped, and you're done for. So
the windmills got very scary. I got killed. My tank got killed on the windmills. They had parked the Tiger up there, and I was like, oh, wait. We immediately got an IS-1, went back. Luckily, called Zito to stop showing mid. He drops the smoke on the Tiger, and we were able to push behind him and kill him in the ass and take the windmills back.
Oh my gosh. That's a clutch artillery smoke. I think it's underrated artillery smoke. But that's another advantage of having a guy like Zito and then having the Russian artillery gun where you can move it so fast is for him to adjust to a quick fire mission. It's like not a big deal. If you had to do that as the Germans, you're stuck moving the gun for a while, and when you only have one gun going, that's a big reprieve you're giving the other team while you're sorting that out.
Especially opposite sides of the map that was needing it.
Yeah, exactly. We have a couple clips that you were able to get for this one. And so first of these clips is around 15 minutes left in this game. And sixth, very close to capping.
First time. Is it going to be a repeat of the last time they faced off? Absolutely devastating for EXO. They cannot lose this here.
Oh my god.
Get some defense pressure now. Axis supplies raining down right on top of all of these guys, desperately trying to reinforce.
Oh my goodness.
Leaning back the way of EXO.
So, Snow, you said it. That hurts. I was going to ask you, like, you seeing that, especially as a tanker where, like, you're not as focused of like get into the hard cap. Maybe at that point you kind of are, but when you're in the tank and you're watching your team do that and you get stalled out with like 85-90% cap, like what's going on in command chat? Like what's going on?
Well, Malarkey is like calm, like he's at church. Super weird. We'll be internal, like I said, in the Stalingrad game, because the Stalingrad game was that times 10.
Right.
Because it would constantly go to that, and EXO would bring it back. But that basically flipped the switch from when we were like, screw the windmills. We got 10 minutes left.
Right.
If they get a tank there, they get a tank there. Who cares? We're going to push hard cap, and that's what we do. Archie gets killed right after this clip, so with about 7 minutes left, it was our turn. We park a tank in hard cap, and
And I guess we'll go to that next clip with that segue. Let's check this out. And this is just a few minutes later.
Yeah, it's about 3 minutes.
See Armor making its way in. He's completely surrounded. He's got lockdown. Bierman on each side. Armor getting bombarded here. Snow and crew trying to use the
getting
one.
flanked by a Puma.
Just trying to stay in the hard cap, do everything you can.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness!
Was trying to do some damage.
And when you got that cap, what's going on in command chat? Like you have 10 minutes left. 8 minutes really.
It was super weird. It wasn't like hallelujah. It was just like, all right, boys, let's this is malarkey. All right, boys, let's we know how to. We know our plan when we cap mid. Let's play our post cap.
Right. That's and yeah, you see malarkey never once doubted the boys. And that's what you need in a commander at that phase of the game. You have basically 8 minutes that you need to just hold on and win, and it doesn't matter that you didn't hold it for 80 minutes. All that matters is that you're holding it for 8 more. So to go back on to the what you practiced and say to yourself, well, now we just gotta do what we said we were gonna do when we cap mid. And I'm sure when you guys were talking about what that plan was, you didn't envision that it would be 10 minutes left in the game, but either way, you had a plan for it and you executed it, you held on, and you came away with the victory.
Yeah, it was a very good game. As Kenny said, I was on the edge of my seat. Yeah,
right.
It was a great game.
You should get like a voucher for like a one free valve cleaning at the hospital for your heart, because after those 2 games, you're like an at-risk individual, I'd say.
Yeah. I don't want to play EXO as the Ricky. Yeah, Ricky getting 140 and got 60 with 20 to go.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's an insane pace at the end, just turning it on like when it matters the most, and that's what you get with guys like Riggy and the people that are clutching at the top of their game and at the top of our entire community and at what we do here. So of course, Rig Doctor being probably the top killer, I think, other than artillery in this one.
It was insane. That little second line above everything was just Riggy.
Yeah.
Like a third of the par.
Yeah, he's a monster for sure, and definitely helped sway this for the 6th at the end with that incredible pace in the last 20. But all of this, Snow, sets us up for the Summit and Valley semifinal. So why don't we start previewing this? We can start first with just recapping our picks from the last match, or the last round, I should say. So here were our predictions. Legion versus 9PZ, we both took Legion 5-0 on that one, so we were both correct there. Philo and Merc, we both picked Merc to win 3-2, so another stellar result for the both of us. Then we both picked Taco 5-0 against 22nd, so we're both right there. But where we differed was with 6th versus EXO, where of course you took your boys in the 6th, who ended up coming away with the victory, and I took EXO, playing a little bit of devil's advocate, I guess you can say. I guess it looks better on a graphic. No one wants to see their team getting picked by all the pundits, you know what I mean? So that was... I'll stick by that, I guess, and if it makes it look better.
Keep holding it.
No, I really did think that EXO had a really good shot of winning that game, and
they did.
I think it genuinely could have gone either way. If I flipped a coin, it would have just been as accurate as whatever pick that I would have came up with the week before. So I'm looking forward to more at Cap. Is he calling what I'm saying Cap, or is he calling me Cap?
I think it's both. I think it's meant to be both.
I love you, Crawley, and I love the 6 guys, of course, but you guys definitely earned that win, and I'm happy to eat my words if it's the 6 that are going to make me eat those words. So that's where we stood with those picks. But if we look overall on our picks,
yeah, we can skip this one.
Let's see what this is. I have this as a standalone image just because it's getting a little busy. Let's see here. All right, so we have the quarterfinal matches with everything in the books. We have 13 perfect picks for me, 19 correct results, and 6 incorrect for a 13, 19, and 6 overall record. And then Snow picking it up a couple games last week, going 12 perfect picks, 17 correct results, and 8 incorrect for 12, 17, and 8. So we are very, very close here, Mr. Snow, on our we know ball at least.
Yeah, we're pretty close. Okay, we'll go. Oh no. Okay.
We have malarkey. It could have gone either. We're always going to cap. That's the kind of confidence you need to have, though, if you're going to play in these games. Like, I never think that my team's going to lose when we load up into the map. You'd be crazy to think that way. Show
We had to wait.
Only one time having a highlight.
Okay, collapsed. Favorite point, favorite faction. Okay, keep it moving. But yeah, dude, the trash talk between me and Collapse.
Yeah, we love playing the guys in the 6th, and we should definitely organize a Remagen Bridge scrim. So Crawley, let me know. Malarkey, let me know if you want to do something like that. I think the Legion boys would definitely have a good time with something a little off meta. So let's do some previews now. So this is Valley here. Let's pull it up like this instead. So this is the Valley. We have the first match, which is something we alluded to earlier. Rofs versus 21st on Driel gun emplacements. 21st is the Allies, Rofs is the Axis. And this is Sunday, July 20th at 6 a.m. So tomorrow, very, very early, on the East Coast at least. And so what do you have in this one, Snow? Rofs, I think, comes in as the early favorite in this one. So are you going to go with the favorites, or are you going to maybe pick 22nd with the off meta?
I think Rofs is going to win this. Yes, gun emplacements is a favorite point for the Brits, but I think Rofs wins 5-0.
5-0, okay. So we're getting 5-0s in the semifinals. I think Rofs is definitely capable of it. I do think that this is a little bit more Allies favored. I think Rofs actually played this against 3-5 in the Division 2 championship game, if I remember correctly. So I think that they'll have a lot of experience to pull on that is going to help them. So with that being said, I think Rofs is going to go on to win this 4-1. I think that once you get to that sort of score in a match like this, you're probably going to hold on unless something really breaks well for you. I can see Rofs kind of doing something where they airhead in the last 20 minutes just to kind of like ensure the fact that no one from 21st is going to be attacking the midpoint. So that would be my pick on that one as well. So we'll see who gets the perfect result on that. Is it going to be 4-1, 5-0, or maybe we're both wrong and 21st pulls an upset there. So then we have 3-5 versus First on Carentan Night train station. So 3-5 doubling up on train station in back-to-back weeks. First is the Allies and 3-5 is the Axis. So 3-5 again is the Axis, and this is tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So I think this is the last match of the day of the finals or the semifinal weekend. And on this one, both of these teams have played train station a bunch. You and I casted the first versus 508P train station game. That was very entertaining. But I think 3-5, like we've mentioned before, is the team to beat here, and I think 3-5 takes this one 5-0 because of what can happen with Ruins. I think that's such a risk.
Yeah, 50% chance to get Ruins, and that's almost... And plus, 3-5 already has prep for the exact midpoint and the exact...
Exactly.
They have truck routes, they have everything.
Makes it easy. If the same people are available, you slot them in the same spot and you run it back. I think that's a tremendous advantage. What do you think here? Score and winner?
5-0.
5-0, 3-5? sorry to my first friends, but yeah, I think that this is one of the more interesting ones, and I'm definitely going to be tuning into this one tomorrow night to end my evening with some more action. But 3-5, I think, was going to be the powerhouse going into this bracket, and I think that they'll continue to prove that as the case. So let's now turn to what everyone's kind of waiting for, the Summit semifinals. So you want to go first and do Six and Taco, or you want to do Legion Merc first?
Whatever you want to do. This is typically where we have to disagree.
Right. All right. So we'll see here. So we'll do Legion and Merc first, and we'll allow us plenty of time to talk. So Legion versus Merc, Utah Chapel. Legion as the Allies, Merc as the Axis, and this is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. And so map factions, what do you think here? The map bans, I think, was something that got a lot of attention this last week in terms of, chatter in the league.
I texted Mojo when basically the map ban got concluded to 4 maps, and you kind of figure what they were going to do. I said just masterful work, because it really was it ain't often that you get Utah Beach as allies. That typically at midpoint is most time an instant ban, or right there between your mid map bans. Just that's really good.
Yeah.
So Merc is going to have a hard time, but I will say, if Merc floods that south and floods that north with Grandma's,
right?
If you remember, Legion played, was it EXO at the time, or was it first?
Right, it was first. It was first. Yeah, that's one of my favorite games ever. Yep.
Yep. You guys fall over that midpoint for 30 minutes. Thereabout. Just because you guys were kind of funneled into that river, or not that creek bed, but I do think Legion wins this 4-1.
4-1 Legion. Okay, let me get this down. So, yeah, I mean, when we were doing the map bans and I was in a VC with the guys as they were going through it, when we got down to it being getting the Germans on Dugout San Marie Dumont or getting the Allies on Utah Chapel, I was like, Maho, that's incredible. I can't believe we did it and lost the coin toss on top of that. So, just another great map ban process by Maho and the Legion, hive mind over there. So definitely excited to be playing something meta for once. It's been many, many weeks since anyone in Legion has played a meta map, at least until this last week when we did a scrim against 3-5 on San Marie Dumont. But I'm going to pick Legion 5-0 on this one. I think that it's a favored midpoint. I think Merc can definitely do some stuff at the start that can make things interesting as far as snipes. It's definitely a big map for snipes, and Merc has proven that they're willing to dedicate the time to do that. But I'm gonna have to go with my boys in Legion and take them 5-0.
I could definitely see 5-0 possible. I still have respect for Merc. You can argue if they're still a D1 team or if they've kind of dropped back a bit. Honestly, it's very hard to judge because it seems like everyone's either at the top in D1. We need an EXO Merc game. I don't know why we haven't gotten it yet. Get a scrim.
It seems strange that we've not had that, especially when you consider the first Merc rivalry, and then that kind of lives through the EXO Merc rivalry now. So that's something that was dominated by Merc in the early years of the game, and I think now EXO would be a fun game to watch, and I think it's something that we'd look back on and say Merc D3, little G. I think that's hard.
Big.
So
random comment from Wani that hasn't. Wani, I hope you know that you are our intro song. Go back and listen to the very beginning of the stream.
We have more Wani content coming up. Don't you remember the last in the wrap up here? We have a couple. We have a couple last Wani clips. Wani was catching strays all week. I don't know what happened. I maybe missed the origin, a little lore there, but that's great. Yeah, and to Perseus's point, we did get them on PHL EXO versus Merc, and it was a banger of a game. So we should definitely do it again.
Really good game. Yeah, we need more. Typically, beat them once, it could be a fluke. Hell, the 8th beat Ross at one point. Anything could happen.
The 8th beat
beat
Merc. Yeah. 5
He
ID
both.
beat Merc. Or 5 ID beat 8th.
Yeah. Kill me. Anyway, moving on.
All right, moving on to Taco versus 6th. This one is on Hurtgen Forest Siegfried line with 6th as the allies and Taco as the axis. And this one, Snow, be ready bright and early, 6 a.m. Eastern time, first thing tomorrow. So I'll be waking up to this one here, Snow, and you'll be still up from this very moment. So tell us.
Start super early. We're gonna get them in there. As soon as I get done with this, the whole tank crew's awake. I already see them blowing up the group chat. We're gonna be prepping. We ain't going to bed, baby.
There we go. I love to hear that, and I'm sure Taco's gonna be ready for you guys in the morning, or I guess their afternoon. But both of you,
for them.
Yeah, both of these teams are prep heavy teams, D1 certifiable. Like, you know, no one's questions the pedigree of these teams. So. Snow, why don't you go with your pick first, and then I'll go.
I think 6 wins 3-2, obviously. I think we're going to hold mid and hold it for the entire game. So unless you want to donate Fatal for a game, and let Fatal just get behind
see if he
them.
can rat the 4th point or something like that.
Oh, dude, it needs to be banned just for unfair advantage.
Yeah, and
I love Fatal.
So what do you think with this point and, like, you know, playing as the allies here?
Well, we played you guys on it about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, we had no prep, but you butchered our trucks, and we drove the most direct route there. So we're hoping for truck snipes. They're hoping for truck snipes too. Timing snipes on that bridge. We're kind of restricted to 1 to 2, maybe 3 ways across. So rocket snipes are going to be huge for both sides. Armor's going to be huge. How they played our medium, how we're going to play our medium.
Absolutely.
It's going to be hard.
I think armor in the beginning there for the allies is so critical, because you kind of start with the advantage because you're able to kind of set up on that open area on your side of the river and shoot into the trees, and the axes have to navigate those trees. But if the 6th isn't able to capture first, you guys are in a world of danger there, because you guys would just be getting farmed coming up that hill if Taco is able to set up. And, you know, we talked about it earlier with what Taco likes to do with their tanks. If they start playing defensively with their tanks and they get the rep station set up, it can be a really, really hard time for the 6th. And not that I don't believe that the 6th can capture first, but if the allies hold the point, the Germans can still get back into it. If the Germans hold the point, it's not so easy to say the same about the allies. And for that reason alone, I'm going to pick Taco to win this one, 3-2. It's not that I'm not rooting for 6th in a certain way. I have tons of friends in the 6th, but I think that faction and the midpoint is really, really hard to overcome. And a couple mistakes could compound into something that is, you're talking about 88 minutes into the game being the thing that decided it. And that thing could have been in the first 15 minutes. So this opener is going to be extremely important for the 6th, and you guys are certainly prepared for it. I believe that, but it's just very unforgiving.
Lucky to go. Yeah, I know they've been prepping, and I definitely know we've been prepping. It's going to be a big upset. 3-2. Yeah, I have us winning. Dude, you honestly should pick against Legion, so that way we can tie our prediction. Because the only way it breaks is if we win, and then it's a 6 Legion, and you win, and that'll be the only way to break the tie.
That's true. That is true. I mean, the unfun thing to do would just be to pick all the same things as you, and I could never lose. But I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna gamify what is our predictions here. So it would be fun though for a 6th Legion championship to decide also who wins the predictions, unless you pick Legion or I pick 6, which would be insane and never happen. Up the 6th, Eagle says.
Yeah. Oh my God! If you do that, and you completely take the beat out of the. You'll actually be building reps at. You'll be breaking down your barricades.
Yeah, exactly. All my street cred will be lost. But I see Maho saying 6 wins, big upset, 3-2. A lot of people saying 6 wins, big upset. So I don't know if it could be an upset if you have a lot of different people saying that team is going to win in a big upset. So again,
it's a major upset. No one's been picking this. Look at Smithers. It is 80-20.
It's anti-Aussie bias, if you ask me, Snow. It's anti-Oceania bias. I do want to say though,
Skeeter, and now they're an NA team.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it takes is one guy from the Northeast, and now you're an NA team. But speaking of Oceania, I just want to touch upon what's going on right now as you're speaking. MSU up 3-2 on OCL with 50 minutes on the clock in the OSCL Grand Final. So make sure you guys have that up in a second tab and give Smithers and Don Gotti some love on that one. But those are our predictions for the week, or for tomorrow. I can't believe it's the semifinals is tomorrow. The season seems to have been a blur. But why don't we wrap up and do some just last-minute cleanup here before we, break for the evening. So there was a couple clips. There wasn't enough for like meme of the week technically, but there was a couple different clips that were out there this week that tickled me and I enjoyed, and both at Wani's expense for some reason or another. So first by our pal Leb coming up with a video.
My name is Wani. Leb, I submit. Gosh, let me go. I surrender, Leb. Do you want some cake? Have a lot of it, Leb.
Him going, do you want some cake? Have a lot of it. Cracks me up every single time I watch that video.
And the fact that he looks like Leb. I don't know if you've ever seen Leb.
No. I've seen the jump rope video, but...
Yeah, that... just up the 6. Okay. But, yeah, that he paid $80 for that masterpiece. I would hate... Thank God no one's ever done a cameo on me.
It only takes $80 for a guy to do that in a parking lot. That's I don't know. My ass. That's quite the digital footprint that man is creating with
No,
that.
bro, I'll do it for $40. Send me $40 and dude, that is a free premium on War Thunder right now. So.
Oh yeah, Snow's been deep into War Thunder. It's like he'll do anything for premium in War Thunder right now.
Hey, so if I'll do anything for. Send a 40. I'll do half.
All right.
I'll dress up as a damn
cat. You're gonna come to regret this with our community that we have here. Thanks for the idea, Snow. That's
Hey, DM me. I'll DM me $40. I'll do whatever you want. Oh God.
And then we have one more from the patron saint of our community, ALU. Again at Wani's expense for one reason or another.
Big chief, little chief, big chief, little chief, Wani.
I don't even know what's going on.
The context for that was Wani put I don't even know. He basically was talking shit to him. He was like, ALU was like, "I'm sorry, Captain Chief," and then posted that video. Trolling him.
Yeah, now we got Eagle saying anything you say. Yeah, that's
anything.
You're gonna have a long list of requests.
DM me $40.
Great,
I'll do whatever you want.
Does Gray not know who ALU is?
He's not. Gray's pretty new to the community, so
he's got a lot of indoctrinating to do in terms of the lore. We'll do a especially as the games whittle down here. Now we'll do a lore podcast for sure. I want to get a couple OGs on, maybe 2 guests on for something like that. So if you're an OG in the community and you're in the chat, get in contact with me or Snow, and we'll love to have you on for to kind of go through some of the lore of the podcast or of our community. So Snow, any last notes that you want to wrap up with here tonight?
Tell your fiance to walk slower next time so we can take a screenshot.
Yeah, she likes to do the sneak through the back of the the back. She made it as a screenshot one night, and I showed her the next morning, and she had a good laugh about that. But yeah, we'll have her on as a guest speaker maybe next time, Eagles. No OG, just Unk.
Yeah, man, it's been an incredible week in Summit season. So hopefully next time we talk, I won't be in a puddle of sadness.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll also be one step closer to in the leaderboards, and we'll have a really spicy end of the season here, Snow.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
Yeah, we will
Let's
see.
go mutually agree for a good map. We can go get the map bans done like Smithers does, which I think is really cool.
I
wish
that
a lot
too.
of teams did that.
Yeah, Smithers has been doing an incredible job. So if you guys are not familiar with Smithers, which I'm sure everyone here is, check out his channel. And he's been doing some incredible work, like with the pre-rolls ahead of the matches, and like the stuff that he's been able to do has been really, really entertaining. But that's really it for me. We're not going to do call-ins tonight just because we're running pretty late already. But I hope everyone enjoyed this episode, and everyone's looking forward to the streams tomorrow, because I know I am. And Snow, it was a pleasure as always to chat with you here tonight. Everyone, thank you guys so much for joining. We will see you in the final round of Summit. Take care, everyone.